Can a church be political? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you midweek. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you know how much we love you in Christ. And that question again, can a church be political? Right about now you're thinking, Mike, are you sure you want to go down that road? Well, friends, it's because when we use the word political or politics in the world in which we live, we're usually referring to the dominant political parties in Washington. I don't know that I've ever seen a time when politics is more contentious and more divided, people setting themselves into certain camps and so on. So you're probably thinking, Mike, I don't think you want to go down that road. Well, friends, it's because your definition of politics is something that you're taking from the world around you. Did you know that politics is something that is very definitely discussed in the Bible? Just not in the way you're thinking. Because again, when we think of politics, we're thinking of political parties, and we're thinking of the platforms and policies that those parties hold dear, and we either align ourselves with one party or the other. That's not the way the Bible uses the word politics. However, friends, I want to give you a Greek word for the day. That word is the word polis, P-O-L-I-S. And when it's translated from Greek into English throughout the New Testament, it's usually translated to be city or town or something like that, whenever there is a large group of people who are all living together. So when Jesus is talking about the town of Nazareth, he uses the word polis. When Paul is talking about the city of Rome or Athens or Corinth, he's talking about polis. Yes, those can be very large and very small areas. Wherever there are people who are all living together with a common ethic and a common moral, a way of doing life, a culture. In their language, they called that a polis. See, that dates from 2,000 years ago, friends, and we've simply taken that idea and brought it forward into our world and say that that way of living together is now political. And you're probably already half a step ahead of me thinking, Mike, does the word police come from the same word? Yes, exactly right, because police are interested in helping us live a certain way. Well, friends, here's where the world around us separates itself from the Bible. Because in the Bible, we're not talking so much about political parties when we use the word polis. We're talking more about the way in which people live together. And biblically speaking, we're most concerned about something called the kingdom of heaven. So when the Bible talks about a polis, yes, the Bible is talking about cities and towns. But for those of us who are Christians, we're called to be aliens and strangers. So while we may live in those cities and towns, we don't naturally align ourselves with the way of living that fits that city and town. Whatever that moral or ethic may be, we don't simply adopt those practices and say, well, I live in this city or I live in this country, and therefore I'll adopt this definition of the word politics. Not true. Instead, biblically speaking, several times as a matter of fact, we are called to be aliens and strangers. We've talked about that recently. Jesus, when describing it to his disciples, said that they are to be in the world, but not of the world. That's Jesus' way of saying you're going to live in this polis, but don't you adopt the practices of that polis. Don't you even adopt the political system of that polis. You are to live by the kingdom. And what is the kingdom? Well, it's a way for people to live together. So friends, the kingdom of heaven, which Jesus calls us to live out day by day, that kingdom of heaven is a politic. Because it's a way of living together, which is exactly what the word polis means. So friends, as followers of Jesus Christ, as those who've given our lives to him, we are very definitely political. The church is political. We're just not Republican or Democrat. Those are worldly political systems. We are kingdom of heaven polis. That's who we are today. And that's what the church is called to be. So can the church be political? Absolutely. Our political just doesn't match the world around us because we live by a very different kingdom. And I just wonder if that'll help change the way that you understand the word politics. Can the church be political? Absolutely. Just not the way the world is political. Friends, I hope that resonates with you a bit. Maybe we'll talk about that deeper sometime soon, but I hope that strikes a thought in you. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you know how much we love you and pray for you. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Bye-bye.